So let me introduce myself as Mr. ML ARUNKUMAR, introduced by Rajamanikam Anthony Raja. In inviting many of the friends who are interested in the Google Meet about a very interesting structural biological problem related to ant missense mutation, which occurs very rarely in nature. A missense mutation, when it occurs in an ant, a false pair of walking legs grows on the left side of an antenna in the ant, which disables the ant from normal tripedal gait found in. Now, the significance of this missense mutation has been attributed to the missense sequence, which is not properly proofread by the genetic code mechanism of the ant. That is, if the genetic sequence of nucleotides is CAT, cytosine, adenine, thymine, followed by cytosine, adenine, thymine, again followed by cytosine, adenine, thymine, if that sequence is disrupted by misreading CAT as ATC, then there is a missense mutation and a false pair of walking legs grows on an antenna, which means we can see from the photograph the both of the pair in the pair you'll find both are shorter and longer than the other, signifying that there is a missense mutation by the attachment of the false pair of walking legs to the first thoracic leg of the ant. In this case, it must be noted that certain structural biologists have reported fetal monsters in human beings also when a child bears two heads with two arms and two legs, but the child lives only for 2 months. These are called fetal monsters, which are affected due to missense mutation. If the photograph of the child is shown in front of a mirror, the right side will appear to be on the left side and the left face will appear to be on the right side. This is because of the paracoronal shift in the pair of eyes, pair of nose, pair of mouth, and a pair of ears. The child will not survive because of missense mutation. So, the significance of finding out a missense mutant in the case of ant is both applicable to all life support systems. I hope the message has been shared by my friends, by those who are interested in the structural biological aspects of what causes missense mutation in the uh, genomic structure, which gets expressed in the phenotype. To avoid or prevent such missense mutation, the proofreading mechanism of the DNA polymerase enzyme has to be checked and rechecked, which is inbuilt in the genome of the human being as well as the ant, like the RT-PCR. So the important contribution of my photograph is, as you can see, the mirror image of this ant and the original photograph are not superimposable is an evidence that it is a forward mutation. It will not revert to a backward mutation. That is, the ant will not survive while foraging for a piece of sugar or food, and it will be socially isolated from the other ants, making it difficult for it to form a social network, just like we human beings who have a network of social communication. I think structural biologists will be more interested in elucidating the molecular aspects of the translation mechanism, the mistranslation on the ribosomes, as well as the function of the transfer RNA, which picks up the amino acid according to the sequence of the DNA molecule in the living system. If the transfer RNA picks up an incorrect amino acid, then there is a missense mutation. So this is the important finding which has not been reported in many of the scientific journals until a few years when I had the opportunity during a solar eclipse when I was able to observe an ant struggling to move normally. And I took to the studio. The studio man said, we cannot take a video of it because it is going to cost you 30,000 rupees. So then I requested him to make a snapshot of it. And that is what you'll be able to see in the thumbnail, and make the difference between the sense and the sense of fact of seeing the real world in which missense mutation is quite common. I hope I have communicated to you sufficiently and shared my views with you um, unambiguously. If you have any questions regarding missense mutation and how it can be related to modeling anti-robot, which Narendra Modi and Angela Merkel shared in the Hamburg meet in 2015 or 16, when Angela Merkel gave a piezoelectric model of anti-robot and demonstrated before Narendra Modi how it can simulate the normal living ant. So this model can be of very much use to structural biologists who want to model uh, missense mutation and bring it to the science of robotics. So thank you for your patient hearing, and I'm expecting a very positive interaction from my viewers as well as people who want to raise questions about the structural aspects of this particular missense mutation in relation to modeling robots like anti-robots, which we can see it uploaded on the YouTube. Thank you very much for your patient hearing. I am looking forward to uh, a very positive interaction from my viewers as well as questions that can be freely answered by me as far as the topic is concerned that I have been asked to talk by Mr. Rajamanikam. And thank to Rajamanikam also for providing me an opportunity to chat in the Google Meet. Thank you very
Uh,
much for your
yeah,
patient hearing.
thanks, Arun, for your valuable talk. Okay.
Yeah.
If you have more information, you can share with them, like your work background, your education background, so that they can understand more and they can come up with more questions. Because right now we started the live, right? So YouTube will be recommending the live to the concerned persons in maybe in after some time. Okay, so till that time, if you have any information, you can share with them so that they can come up with questions in the